The term gaslighting has been floating around a lot these days. Gaslighting is ultimately the idea that somebody else is trying to overwrite our reality. And if it happens enough times, our brain and our body will buy into somebody else's truth, especially if there is a position of power and we have less power in that relationship. As when we're gaslighting somebody else, we're ultimately trying to protect ourselves. We're trying to force our framework or our viewpoint on another person in order to be safe, to make sure that they are seeing the world in the way that we need them to see it. When we're being gaslit and we're vulnerable to it, we start to engage in self-doubt and self-questioning. We start to buy into somebody else's truth and ultimately begin to have spiraling considerations of, am I crazy? Is there something wrong with me? Do I simply not see the world correctly because this other person is telling me that I'm consistently wrong? Both sides of the spectrum are actually crazy making, and they do result in a specific relationship pattern in of themselves that erodes the sense of trust, community, and connection that we want to have in our intimate relationships. Now, if you've been told that you're a gaslighter, we'll have a series of videos for you to tune into to begin to develop some self-awareness as to why you're doing this. Again, it's all self-protective. When Amy starts running the show and creating these less than preferable behavioral patterns, her only goal is to keep us safe. And if you are on the receiving end and if you're being gaslit, we'll have a series of videos for you because there's something that's going on in your mind and your body that is stepping back and allowing or creating the space for somebody else to drive your truth. That's also a survival mechanism. The gaslighter is likely engaging in the right amygdala fight, and the one being gaslit is likely engaging in right amygdala freeze or left amygdala fawn, people pleasing, sacrificing the self to be safe, right and left amygdala, or I'm gaslighting you because I am fearful and therefore I am aggressive. So ultimately, underneath all of these experiences, there's a healing and recovery opportunity. Regardless of which side you are of the conversation, there's pain driving the behavior. So let's spend some time diving more deeply into the self-healing opportunities on both sides of the spectrum. And also learning about why we do this for ourselves, but also what happens to the other person when we continue to participate in the experience. Because whether we're the gaslighter or the one being gaslit, we are enabling the behavioral cycle. And if we're doing that, we need to get back to setting those healthy boundaries and being loving and protective first towards self before moving forward in the relationship. I'll see you soon.